What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Tuesday, September 6th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 12-game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. So a couple of studs that I like on this slate. They're studs, but you're going to save a little bit of salary if you come down from Garrett Cole and Framber Valdez. So take a look at Shane Bieber. He's pitching against a low salary batting team, the Kansas City Royals. Shane Bieber, he's giving up a .643 OPS versus righties, facing 4 righties. The Royals have hit 14 of his last 65 pitches. That's a .215 batting average. So Shane Bieber is $10,800 FanDuel salary, only $200 less on DraftKings. So a guy like Framber Valdez is actually less expensive on DraftKings, but I still like Shane Bieber here. He's averaging 37 fantasy points per game on the season. He's on fire. He scored 49, 49, and 32 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He has an ERA of 3.06. Record is 8-8, pitching an average of 93 pitches per game. So I like Shane Bieber here versus the Kansas City Royals. Okay, I also like Joe Musgrove pitching against a low salary batting team, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Joe Musgrove, he's a pretty balanced pitcher, giving up a .629 OPS versus righties, a .677 OPS versus lefties, and a .646 OPS versus switch hitters. He's facing 4 lefties, 2 righties, and 3 switch hitters. And the Diamondbacks have only hit 7 of his last 37 pitches. That's a 189 batting average. So Joe Musgrove is $10,400 FanDuel salary, $900 less on DraftKings, and he's averaging 36 fantasy points per game on the season. He has an ERA of 3.01, record is 9-6, pitching an average of 96 pitches per game. So I like Joe Musgrove here versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. So I got a home run hitter for you here. Take a look at Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with a 32% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Kyle Bradish. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. batting 12% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .954 OPS versus righties. Kyle Bradish pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 20% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .888 OPS versus righties. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is 4 for 8 with a 1.431 OPS versus Bradish. He's $4,100 FanDuel salary, $1,900 more on DraftKings, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season, scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, has a batting average of .279. So I like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. here versus Kyle Bradish. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Now, I also like William Contreras. He has a 19% batting advantage over Cole Irvin. William Contreras is batting 10% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .825 OPS versus lefties. Cole Irvin pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 9% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .716 OPS versus righties. Now, William Contreras is 2 for 2 here versus Irvin. He's 2,900 FanDuel salary, 1,500 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He has a batting average of 272. So I like William Contreras here versus Cole Irvin. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. Here's a value play. I like Cesar Hernandez. He has a 25% batting advantage over Jose Quintana. Cesar Hernandez batting 13% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .719 OPS versus lefties. Jose Quintana pitching his, not his worst ball, but he's pitching 12% worse to switch hitters as he does lefties. And he's giving up a .785 OPS versus switch hitters. So I like this pick because Cesar Hernandez is 5 for 17. That's a .294 batting average and a .929 OPS versus Quintana. And that's a big sample size. He's only 2,100 FanDuel salary, 100 less on DraftKings, averaging 7 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. He has a batting average of 248. So I like Cesar Hernandez here versus Jose Quintana. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. A stud that I like, Jose Ramirez. And it looks like that's my pick here for the third base position. So Jose Ramirez, he's batting against a low salary pitcher, Kris Bubic. Jose Ramirez batting a .830 OPS versus lefties. Kris Bubic giving up a .911 OPS versus switch hitters. Now Jose Ramirez just 1 for 1 here versus Bubic. 3,800 FanDuel salary, 2,100 more on DraftKings, averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season. And he's got a batting average of 280. So I like Jose Ramirez here versus Kris Bubic. Let's see if I can find something a little bit lower in salary. It's just not a great position. You could go with a guy like Luis Arraez, but he is facing Garrett Cole. Now, he is 2 for 4 versus Garrett Cole. He's 3,300 FanDuel salary, 900 more on DraftKings. So this position is a little bit weak here today. You could go with J.D. Davis. He's been on fire, scoring fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games. Scored 22 fantasy points last game. He's only 2,200 FanDuel salary, 900 more on DraftKings. So you're either going to go for a value play at this position or pay up for a guy like Jose Ramirez.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on.
Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Or Austin Riley is in a good spot as well here versus Cole Irvin. So let's take a look at the shortstop position. I like Elvis Andreas. He's got a 19% batting advantage over Logan Gilbert. Elvis Andreas batting a little bit better here versus righty pitchers, batting a .665 OPS versus righties. Logan Gilbert, he's pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 15% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .785 OPS versus righties. Elvis Andreas is 3 for 5 here versus Gilbert with a 1.8 OPS. One of those 3 hits was for a home run. And I like this pick because he's only $2,500 FanDuel salary, 200 more on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season. And he's been on fire, scoring fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. He's got a 28, a 35, a 15, and he's got a batting average of 248. So I like Elvis Andreas here versus Logan Gilbert. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. You got some home run hitters: Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, George Springer is in a good spot, Kyle Tucker, Ronald Acuna Jr. So out of those guys, I think that I like George Springer. He has a 24% batting advantage over the low salary pitcher Kyle Bradish. George Springer batting 4% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .832 OPS versus righties. Kyle Bradish pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 20% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .888 OPS versus righties. Now, George Springer is 3 for 6 here versus Bradish with a 1.333 OPS. He's $3,800 FanDuel salary, 2,000 more on DraftKings, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season. He has a batting average of 267. So I like George Springer here versus Kyle Bradish.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.